Hey guys, we're going to dive into BuyerTwin here today and take a look at. We just actually did a show talking about the buyer lens, and I think this is a good one, Andy, where we could show how BuyerTwin is so useful in helping you see through that buyer lens. And so we're going to look at a persona, a twin here in BuyerTwin, and have it give feedback on a specific web page. So you could do this for a landing page, the service page, your home page, whatever it is, but get that unique, specific feedback from that lens of that buyer. So, Andy, I'll let you take it away.
Yeah, this is one of my favorite features of the product. I think, we're always creating new web pages. We're definitely creating landing pages if we're doing ads. There's so many different things. And I think one of the things that we do is we always build them from our viewpoint, and it's hard to get feedback. You launch it, and then you still don't necessarily get the feedback you need other than some metrics. And it's pretty rare. I think most people just have this, hesitation to go, I'm going to send this to a couple folks and get some feedback. And even if they do, it's probably not very, candid at the end of the day. And so that's what I love about BuyerTwin is we've got these evaluations. And what we can do is right now I'm on an EdTech founder, and we have built this out behind the scenes of really training it appropriately. And what we can do in BuyerTwin is we can actually choose a page. So we could choose any of our pages on our site, whether that's a specific services page, homepage, whatever it might be. What I'm actually going to do is we do have an EdTech page on this site, and this is the EdTech founder. So I'm going to get their viewpoint. And what BuyerTwin is doing, it's looking now at the design of that page, of the content of the page, all of those different pieces from the viewpoint of this EdTech founder. So it's really about seeing through their lens. And so here we are now. We've gotten some feedback from this founder, initial impressions. The page immediately grabs attention with its bold headline, emphasizing AI and brand optimization. As founder in EdTech space, the focus on AI is intriguing. What I like, AI emphasis. What I don't like, lack of EdTech focus, visual overload, generic language. Would I buy from this page, or would this page convince me to buy? No, while the focus is on AI, the lack of specificity and direct relevance to EdTech makes it unlikely that I would pursue services based on this page alone. So even though we have an EdTech page here, obviously we didn't do a good enough job of really leaning into the EdTech.
Now, we get feedback all the time. People will hear about BuyerTwin or see a demo and they'll say, well, can't you just do that and ChatGPT ask some questions and whatnot? ChatGPT is going to tell you that everything you do is wonderful. That's one thing, right? And that's a big difference, big departure from BuyerTwin and ChatGPT. But I think the critical and really candid nature of BuyerTwin, which is how it's been designed, is super important. But don't be surprised and don't let it hurt your feelings. It's all about improvement.
Yeah, I think, one of the things that people don't think about, and it's just a lot of extra work in GPT, but there are two things that, really changed the game here from this, or a couple is one, when we built out this, persona here, this twin, we've spent some time doing different research and background, personality, pains, buying factors. Like there is a process behind the scenes that, obviously if you went into ChatGPT and started and said, okay, bring up all this information about this type of person. Now I want you to prioritize these pieces, because our system's doing that. It's basically helping you hone this twin to be hyper accurate. We're also pulling in data from specific APIs. And so at the end of the day, by the time you're done with the training here, our system is really knowledgeable about what is influencing this persona. And again, you can do that in ChatGPT, just a lot of time and effort that isn't as organized as the way that we do it. Two, we have a really sharp under the hood role playing engine. So the way that we built the system is really to try and act like this persona when they're doing things, to think like them, to be them when they give their response. And just the way that we have it set up is really unique. And then the other factor that I would say is just super powerful is, this tool is built by me and the team here, and we've had a marketing agency for 23 years. The way that we ask our questions and the way that we tell the system to produce the output is very aligned to what we've learned over years and years and years. And so instead of you having to figure out what to ask and how to ask and do it in the right way to get the right results, we're already doing that under the hood. So it's really easy for you. And so that's why I think people are always shocked when they come in here and they get this feedback that just not only is candid, but it's specific and it's actually really actionable and valuable. And again, to your point, you can do that in another AI engine. For us, it's not going to deliver the same thing as what our system has been, honed and curated to do.
Right.
So I love this feature. It's one of my favorites of, you can come in here and go and create your founder, your marketing manager, all those different viewpoints. You create a new campaign landing page, let's say, and you have each of your target twins evaluate it. And all of a sudden you've got a committee of feedback. And before you hit that launch button on the campaign, instead of having to go out and ask a bunch of folks or take a lot of time creating all of these different personas and, figuring out how to get the right feedback, within a couple of minutes, you can come in here, get some feedback on what I don't like, what I would change, and that can help inform to improve it. And it's really about just getting that feedback that helps you, even at the very least, make sure that you're testing it against the lens of the buyer. Doesn't mean you have to implement everything, and it doesn't mean that, what you didn't do is right, but you're at least questioning your thinking, and you're doing it in a way that comes from, very experienced expertise that we've had over the years cultivating this stuff.
Yeah, and it's always fascinating to see this run, to see the feedback, and Andy, to your point, kind of the layer of the level of depth of feedback, that's given. So check it out, guys. Take it for a test spin, BuyerTwin.com, and we will be back with more of these to show you more features and different ways you can use BuyerTwin, because there's actually a lot in there. Look forward to it. Thanks for tuning in. We'll see you guys next time.
Thanks, everybody.